The school bombing, tragic school bombing, massive loss of life of kids. And people keep telling me, three people yesterday and this morning said to me, we're undercovering that story, not just because of the tragic loss of life and not just because of the president's credibility, but because two of the three think this will turn to be the seminal moment in this conflict. I'm not sure if I agree with that. But yesterday, the New York Times this morning, another story which they claim documents that obviously the United States did it. If you look at the answers and the body language of everybody in the administration, it's pretty clear that they know the United States accidentally did this. The president, though, continues to say something completely different, not supported by any known facts, although maybe the president knows something we don't know. Here's the president yesterday on the Iran school destruction, apparently by a Tomahawk. 118, please.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Mr. President, you just suggested that Iran somehow got its hands on a Tomahawk and bombed its own elementary school on the first day of the war. But you're the only person in your government saying this. Even your defense secretary wouldn't say that when he was asked, standing over your shoulder on your plane on Saturday. Why are you the only person saying this?
Because I just don't know enough about it. I think it's something that I was told is under investigation. But Tomahawks are used by others, as you know. Numerous other nations have Tomahawks. They buy them from us. But I will certainly, whatever the report shows, I'm willing to live with that report. Yeah, please.
Kevin, what's the right thing for the president to do? He hates the loss of life. He hates children, most of all, being killed. What's the right thing to do to honor the children who were killed, to acknowledge the mistake? What's the right thing for the government to do? Both, and I'll say, what's the morally right thing and the politically right thing to do? Spoiler alert, I think they're the same, but to the extent you think their intention, just tease that out. What should they do? Because the president can just continue to deny it.
I think if the answers are one and the same to your point, Mark. I think, and you're seeing some Senate Republicans, John Kennedy, Todd Young, others pressing for an investigation into this specifically in the Senate. So you're seeing Republicans come out in support of we're the United States of America. We don't cover up things like this. If we did this, we need to investigate it. We need to apologize for it. We need to own up to it. That we aren't Russia, we aren't China that carry out these attacks and cover it up. And I think the more the president delays that acknowledgement, the longer this story goes on, and the more lack of support the president gets in this effort in Iran. And I think he should just come forward and say, if it is truly us and this investigation has played out, that we own up to this and let's investigate how this happened to prevent this from ever happening again. War is terrible. War is horrible. These things happen, unfortunately, where innocents are killed, and we're the United States of America and we own up to it.
Larry, should we find the families and give them all $1 million?
Well, I don't know. First, did we do that to the families that Biden droned after the Abbey Gate massacre in Afghanistan? I don't know if there's a precedent for that, sure. But let's be clear here. Yes, the president should do that if the facts bear that out. I still remain somewhat skeptical about this story because almost all of the news sources, primary news sources, are videos coming from the Iranian news agency and the Iranian government, number one. But number two, and more importantly, if it turns out that this was an accidental strike by Americans, we need to emphasize the fact that we don't target schools. We don't target children. We don't hide our military assets where children and hospitals are, like Iran does, like terrorists do. This school is literally on an IRGC Navy compound. It's embedded within buildings that are legitimate military targets and assets. We did not target these children. If we accidentally hit these children, that's what defines how America does things differently than how terrorists do it, where terrorists actually do target children, where the terrorists funded by the Iranian government do target children and try to kill them.
I get all that, but how do we make whole these families? How do we take responsibility for it if the United States did do this accidentally?
Again, I'll defer back to what our past precedent has been, because this is not the first time civilians have been hit during a military strike, Lord knows. But again, I'm more emphasizing the other question was, what should the president say and do? Whatever the president says, it should be framed within the context of terrorist target innocence. We do not. This was an accident. Yeah. And, oh, by the way, maybe we shouldn't put an all-girls elementary school surrounded by buildings of the IRGC military.
Hey, want to be part of the two-way community all the time? Hit the subscribe button.
Great video clips like this, plus conversations like no other, full episodes, and more, always available on this channel. You got to hit subscribe to never miss a thing.
You can now listen to full episodes of The Morning Meeting and Two Way Tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.